boys.
It's the BOYSCAST.
The lads.
It's the BOYSCAST.
The dudes.
Prepare yourself for BOYSCAST.
The bros.
It's the BOYSCAST.
The homies.
It's the BOYSCASt.
The dudes.
Experience the BOYSCAST.
The boys cast.
The BOYSCAST. By the way, so we were going to do an intro. It felt like poor taste.
Probably not.
Since the tragedy of Amanda Knox, who has started doing stand-up. This is anytime there's anything like crazy like this, it's like we do not have the emotional capability to deal with.
No. I mean, if you're, this is not a pure news podcast in the sense that if you're just tuning in for the hard-hitting facts.
Buddy, there is a level of decorum.
We should have put
and
clown.
reverence.
We really should have put clown makeup on to really buttress ourselves from potential
right.
You're like, what? You can't take it seriously. Go full clown makeup on right now. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, what are you, some sort of clown? Look it, yes.
Hello?
The show must go on.
Send in the clown.
It's 9/11 today, too.
It's 9/11 today. 9/11's really losing out on the shine today. Everybody's like, 9 what now?
Like it's taken over. It is, the world is on. Buddy,
Yeah.
we were gonna do an episode about how like the world's on a fucking race riot right now.
Uh-huh.
Then this happened. We were literally about to record.
By the way, if anybody
like,
doesn't know, Charlie Kirk got assassinated. I'm sure there might.
well,
be
they saw in the title.
Oh, right. One person goes. I mean, dude, my brother-in-law was like, "Who's Charlie Kirk?"
No, it's like a top fucking.
I know
news
it's
in the
top news,
world,
but he
dude.
was just like, "I don't know who that is."
What?
Yeah.
That seems unlikely.
It is funny because he doesn't know who it is. The last week has completely radicalized my wife. She's like wearing a burqa now around the house. It's getting dark.
I actually, buddy, we had an intro we were doing. We were just like, this just seems weird. And then on top of that, like these are the articles we were gonna do. We were just like, we were gonna go. So I was like, it's just like, you know what I mean? Someone just gets shot. The world's on fucking fire. Everyone's like, and then you're just like, but you go. The Albuquerque Fire Rescue has made history with all-female flight crew, or all-female
firefighter crew?
all-female firefighter engine crew.
More power to our first responders on this 9/11, I guess.
None of this. We can't. It's not.
Dude, I mean, every year on 9/11, I always post my Sheridan mini muffins. We're giving out mini muffins thing that they from 9/11 in honor, and I go, not the year for this, not the day or the year for
Not
that.
the day or the year to make a joke. You know, you could be out here just being like, you know, and that's the thing. Obviously, when they announced the female firefighters, also stocks in fire retardant and fire extinguishers and fireproofing have gone up. Ladies and gentlemen, moving on.
Yeah, leading the S&P 500.
Women are now flying to Turkey for brutal leg shortening operations. Can we have one thing, ladies? All right.
Short kings.
All right. How do you? So there's lots to talk about. Do you want to do a prayer first?
I'm probably a person of my ethnicity is maybe not the guy to do the prayer right
You know
now.
what?
I mean, this is, by the way, my absolute favorite thing right now is like the long, like, because there's so many people who are like already like, yeah, Israel did
That was my first thing when there was the race.
you were
riot.
like Israel did this.
No, I said
Yeah, that was my first thing. I was like, Israel obviously did this. Who just makes a shot like that? Just one shot disappears.
I said that it was convenient that that the attention's been taken off the Jew too late. That it's back on them. Yeah, I know.
That is absolutely. Like,
But we have, you know what it is too? It's like, if, you know, I feel like this in some ways whenever I go to a funeral, I'm just like, just shut up because you're not like equipped for this kind of thing. You know what I mean? But I go, the same thing is like, dude, we have like friends that like, it's an actual guy they know and stuff. It's like, this guy's like in,
we have
it's
like
not.
our group chat. He's like, yeah, this is our buddy. This is like my buddy.
Yeah, exactly. Right. So it's
Yeah.
like, there is a level of decorum that I'm really not equipped for.
Yeah.
And I went to, you know, it's the same thing, especially comedy brain, podcasting brain just like fries you but also I was like a bit like that. Like if I died, how quickly would you make a joke about it?
Probably.
Day of.
Yeah, probably. At the eulogy. As I'm waiting my turn to give a eulogy.
Yeah, you
Oh, that's good.
you would be doing bits. You'd be like mispronouncing words. Sorry, that was just a tribute. Like
Yeah, I'd go get some day labor off of the street to fill your chair who just can't pronounce anything right.
pronounces it better.
Not even his first language.
So there's that. I was kind of, but there was a weird thing where it's like, me and Johnny were just talking about this too, like the idea that like social media, I mean, obviously people have said this, but like the fact that how much like social media is different from real life. Like when I was when I was online for the last like 4 days, you're just like, the world is fucking, even when we said like in Canada, for example, like, what was the worst thing that ever happened to a politician? John Carchan got pied in the face.
He either got egged or pied. I can't remember.
Now it's like, it is nonstop shit happening, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is
America. This is the place for it.
And people, people that speak for a living, kill for speaking for a living, and that's what we do. I mean, obviously, that's not what, if a comedian goes down, that's not what you want, like mid-joke, a mid-Indian accent. You have the fucking tape out there being you, like...
And every other comedian being like, he really died on stage.
Of course, yeah. There's...
Shut up.
Shut the fuck up. So, but yeah, like, I went... It's interesting because, like, if you're online, it's, like, fucking nuts, and then you go... It's, like, kind of a... emotional like mind fuck in the sense that you're online and you're just like, yo, this is fucking, the world is on fire. And then
are you doing like an American?
I went to a comedy club and you're just like, people are kind of, it's just like, no, you go outside. It's kind of reminding me of that thing I was saying before, but I was like, if it was like a weather broadcaster that was just like talking about the forecast for tomorrow, it's like, on Twitter there's going to be this is
category 5 hurricane race riot, and then you go to Threads, there's going to be a lot of celebrating and a lot of edgy jokes from the Threads lords, sociopath communists, and then you were going to see if you go over here, and then if you go into real life, you're actually partially sunny, there's a white and a black guy talking, guy riding a bike, just fist bumped him, and just fist bumped, and it was pretty cool.
There's a guy walking his dog, and then you go back over to so it is fucking nuts.
Yeah.
The video is fucking insane, dude. How many people do I have to watch die this week?
It is crazy though. Like, I don't remember when I signed up for social media being like, this is be a cool thing to connect with my friends from university after we kind of all move home, and then you're like, hey, here's just a bunch of murders every day, and you go, I don't remember this being.
What I
signed up for.
It's a legitimate snuff
just like
site.
Faces of Death. You go, hey, we merged Facebook and Faces of Death. You go, this is enjoy.
You know how many fucking murders I've watched this year?
Insane.
It's like insane.
They're definitely like,
and that's just the ones online.
Yeah, your brain is not meant to just like watch murders all the time.
It can't be, right?
No.
It can't be good for you to just be like nonstop.
I never watched I still haven't seen the one with the girl because like it was everywhere. I go, I'm just gonna choose to not watch it. The Charlie Kirk one I unfortunately saw just because it was like,
dude, we were legitimately like about to do a podcast.
We were 1 minute from hitting record.
We were 1 minute from hitting record, and then Danny's like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
Yeah, I was like, Charlie Kirk just got shot, and then I was like, okay, well. Can't really just be like, so women firefighters, huh?
That's what I'm saying.
Coming out on Friday, people are like, what the hell is this?
Dude, yeah, the intro, it's too crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, there's fucking, it is crazier, like the juxtaposition too. Like, I don't know, I'm like, I did some things and you get like tagged it and you're just like, I don't know, the world's too fucking weird to like promote something right now. But like
who's fucking hurting right now is people who have scheduled posts. Like you just schedule out your posts and just like in the middle is like, come catch me in like whatever. And you're just like in the middle of this stuff.
But you know what I saw?
Yeah.
I legitimately saw like, video of Charlie Kirk getting shot, fucking, somber post, celebratory post, somber post, and then I'm not a pervert, but I brought my nut rag to the beach. I saw JJ's fucking post. I'm not a pervert, but I just brought my nut rag to the beach.
Yeah. JJ goes, oh, Charlie Kirk just got shot. This might be, do I have anything? Oh, I got a good repost right now.
Listen, I know all you gooners out there having a bad day.
Yeah, that's like Twitter too. Is like you see like it'll be like all Charlie Kirk and then like some crypto bros being like to the moon.
Oh, they're still just like regular programming.
They're just like, yeah, I don't know. We're into crypto. We're not in politics.
So yes, that's what the society's at in America, where you can't even pwn libs without being shot at.
No, not great. Not great.
Internet debating's become fucking, I guess
sports.
Politics has always been blood sports, but like the fucking internet debating's becoming that too. And then they're essentially like, it's rap beefs now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's like, comedy has that bit right now too, where it's like, you kind of see fucking comedy. It's like the internet turned everything into like Tupac and Biggie, where it's like legitimately, think about how you have like the East Coast, West Coast always have a beef. And then there's the fucking Austin scene and everyone's always, hating on each other and all this shit.
Territorial by nature.
People are territorial by nature, but it's getting worse. Their fucking brains are fried, sitting there thinking that like, I need to do something because like, the world's at stake and I'm like a hero if I do this. So it's, I'll say that this is what I kind of saw there was like the four types of, and I think mainly what me and Danny were kind of like going through is like the fucking craziest takes that people are having right now. Where it's people are
just like bad take city.
What did you say? The cold take.
Ice cold takes.
Cold.
I mean, there's a lot of them too. It's like I had this one pulled up. I didn't show it, but this is a politician, Rep. Clay Higgins, who I don't know Republican for sure. But basically, he's like, I'm going to use, this is from today, this morning. I'm going to use congressional authority and every influence with big tech platforms to mandate immediate ban for life of every post or commenter that belittled the assassination of Charlie Kirk. If they ran their mouth with their smart-ass hatred celebrating the heinous murder of that beautiful young man who dedicated his whole life to delivering respect, blah, 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 those profiles must come down. So basically, we're like, I do have this vibe of especially the
cataclysm. How do you say that word?
I'm going to
cataclysmic.
Yeah, cataclysmic.
Vibe shift.
It feels like, especially with Trump, like I was saying yesterday, like Trump's like reaction is, because he's usually like pretty over the top when he's angry, and his tweet was like so normal
that you're just
where
like,
I was
this
just
is
like,
about to
dude, it's literally like the fucking Eddie Murphy bit from Delirious, like when you fucking hit your bitch and she just goes all cool.
That's not what you want.
Yeah, it's just like, why don't you just go to sleep? And you're like, I'm just gonna get out of here. I wouldn't be surprised if we get some kind of like Patriot Act level clamp down on some shit where you're just like,
Well, right now they announced this: U.S. warns visa applicants against cheering Kirk's assassination. I called Danny and he was mid-cheer.
I was just like,
if you're not a citizen, which we're not, they're like, you can't talk about Israel, you can't talk about this. They're really clamping down on it.
Well, but again, it's like there is a feeling to me, and I could be wrong, obviously, but there's a feeling to me that they're going to use this. Again, it's like Trump seized on the whole like the girl in Charlotte or whatever, and he's trying to do this crazy like Law and Order thing with sending in the National Guard everywhere, and you have to think like, they're good. He pounced on this. This was like, obviously this was no story because it wasn't covered at all because it made certain individuals look bad in groups or whatever. But you have to think like they're going to use this for something.
Yeah.
That in hindsight will be not good.
So these are in my opinion, I went through, this is what I thought was kind of like the 5 reactions that happened. So one is sentimental posts.
Yeah.
That's the standard.
That's what a normal person should do.
A normal person.
If you care.
Yeah. And I think we're not, I don't know if I'm not built to do anything sentimental.
No, not. I was like, I don't even think I follow Charlie Kirk.
Do you think if your wife died and I came up and I was like, I'm really sorry, would you be like, we don't have to do?
Yeah. It's okay. You did say sorry to my dog one time after accidentally bumping into him, so that was weird too.
Did you find that to be weird?
Yeah. You're just like, sorry.
He's dying over here pretending he's a fucking normie.
Yeah.
Sentimental. People that use it for politics, where they message, where they're kind of like, this is tragedy, but the real, like, and they essentially just trying to like shoehorn their thing in.
There was a lot of, I didn't like Charlie Kirk, and like they would have to like preface because they didn't want their side.
I saw a lot of people in real life kind of saying a version of that,
like where they're like, they don't want anybody to think they're like co-signing his opinions.
They essentially said like their version of like liberal version of no homo.
Yeah, essentially, yeah, like pause.
They're just like
that was their pause.
They're like, this guy's like a, I'm really. This guy's like, he's a good-looking guy. Like that's their being like,
sure.
It's bad that he was killed. Obviously, no Republican, but like,
yeah, exactly.
No,
yeah, I saw tons of those, like tons of those.
I saw a lot of no,
which was clearly the
Republican no homos.
They deleted their rest in piss fucking tweets to just be like, oh, I didn't disagree with him. I didn't agree with him on anything at all, and I found him morally reprehensible.
It's just like, just don't post at that point. You don't have to. You're not the fucking Pope. You don't have to post on everything.
Thanks for your post for your 2,000 Instagram followers. That's Really making a difference there. Noted.
Yeah, and the used for politics, they can't let a tragedy go to waste. Then there was the celebrating, people that were celebrating. I think
a lot of those.
And I think a lot of it is, you have to remember that, that comes from, there's kind of liberals, and then there's the leftists or whatever that, want they're kind of, in their mind, they're part of a revolution. There's nothing those people like more than someone else doing violence for them. I feel like a lot of those people, it's their favorite position is to be the get him, Dave.
Of course,
they're the wife that wants the guy to beat people up. That is kind of the vibe
from
of a lot
Looney
of those.
Tunes with the little dog and the big dog. It's the little dog being go at him, go get him.
That is the vibe of a lot of those people. It's they love hypothetical violence that they have no part in.
Sure, but they're
most of these people are women.
I
or
could
dudes that
be
would give a shit.
capable of such a thing if you push me too far.
Yeah, I'm really I'm vested in a revolution. This is what it takes to get it done. Meanwhile, they're just just they would never do anything.
And
they're
just in a fucking coffee shop.
Yeah, get him, Dave.
Bushwick.
Yeah, exactly, right. And then there was, edgy jokes, and then angry right-wing posts of this is.
By the way, if you follow any comedians who are normally edgy and you didn't see an edgy joke for them, you should go congratulate them, because that was hard for them yesterday. That was a tough day for edgy comedians yesterday, who probably were I have so many fucking jokes I want to make.
It was more coming from the comedians that it was they were edgy joke, but they were actually it was more it was more of a celebratory. It wasn't there was it was more the people that the more the threads, and I was calling them the threads lords.
The threads lords, yeah.
But when you see the thread lords, it was more they have the thing where it's you're pretending you're happy, but your face is actually angry underneath under the mask.
Yeah,
it was that version where they're pretending to joke around, but they're actually hyped up.
Yeah, I mean, honestly,
there wasn't very much of it's actually just there was a few. But
I know we talk about economics sometimes, but I actually might think we might get a bigger rate cut for the amount of people who have been fucking fired in the last 24 hours from their posts about Charlie Kirk. The unemployment rate is going to go. There was a massive dip on September 11th for some reason. The unemployment rate just fucking skyrocketed on September 11th.
Who were some of the big firings?
There was a dude from MSNBC.
The MSNBC guy. We can play that. Want to play that guy's video? Because he was the original ice cold.
Yeah. That was a real ice cold take. He wasn't even the original. The original was someone being someone was the guy on MSNBC. This is right when it happened, and they're it could have been someone firing a shot in celebration.
I thought that was this guy.
No, that was a different. No, this is
okay. So
this guy was just
fuck. I thought they were the same video, so I only have that video. So why don't you just explain that one?
Basically, the guy was essentially, his name was Matt Dowd or something, and essentially he was just he said some really bad stuff, and when you say hateful stuff, people do hateful things. Essentially, just he had it coming to him, and then
that's the one I have.
Yeah, that's the one you have. But the one yesterday,
I said describe the one I don't have.
Oh, the one you don't have was right when I just did when he got shot, and they were the guy's I don't know, maybe someone was hit him firing a celebratory round because they think it's the Wild West, or it's he said something I like, hoo 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 hoo, that's literally what they think of Charlie Kirk rally is.
They think that he was just this DAI steps out of control. It's fucking, what are you, insane. Out of your mind?
I don't know if that guy got fired. I don't think so.
So this guy got fired.
That guy got fired. Someone from the Carolina Panthers got fired. I mean, dude, the amount of people.
What did the Carolina Panthers guy?
He's the guy in charge of communications for the Carolina Panthers, which is ironic. Probably just said something, either calling him a Nazi or celebrating his death. I mean, dude, the amount of people who the amount of screenshots I've seen of people who are this person's a teacher.
This week, the amount of celebrating someone's death, and then also race statistics. It's that's the internet
dude,
is.
Yeah. We are this close to literally Trump, just like his fucking tariff chart, just race crime statistics, race IQ stats.
Elon Musk is posting them, and you're just I always grew up.
They made it on Fox News.
Yeah, but for me, I was always we used to always say that the Israel, Jewish JQ or whatever you call it, and race statistics were the thing that got people banned from their platforms back in the day. And it was Elon Musk bought the platform. He owns the platform.
He owns the platform now. I mean, he's the reason why we even know about this chick in Charlotte for the most part. He's the one who really elevated it to kind of next level.
Yeah, we'll talk about that after. I'll show you the MSNBC one.
Talk to me about the environment in which a shooting like this happens.
Yeah, and again, emphasize what you just emphasized. We don't know any of the full details of this. We don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about this. But following up with what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain
This is like the
groups.
body's not even
and I
cold
always
yet.
go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that people just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful
He's big on the thought crimes, eh?
Thoughts.
It's like a
So that was actually both of the clips. I didn't realize they were actually the same clip.
Okay, so I was right.
I saw the first one. First, someone posted the first half of it for some reason, not the second half. But yeah, it's the same clip.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah,
that's what I
anyways, that guy got fired.
Yeah, but that to me was like the thought
Hateful
crime part was
thoughts.
like, yeah, that was fucking like eerie.
I mean, I
You're
don't
just like,
I
you know,
don't
that's what
have-
happens when you have the wrong thoughts in your head. Like when you have the wrong thoughts, you say those thoughts, and then those thoughts have someone kills you,
Yeah, someone just murders you.
and then someone murders you.
Yeah, so a lot of people get, but like tons of teachers. I mean, I see like Milo Yiannopoulos, who's just like
These are all the people that were pumped about Will Smith slapping Chris Rock.
Oh yeah, big time. But yeah, like Milo's like, yeah, your job today is to get 50 people fired.
That's full circle.
That's what he's up to. I guess we like cancel culture now.
Oh, I mean, it's you know, I kind of
This is
realized
more eye for an eye.
the idea that you thought that like ever where you're just like, I mean, you go, so it just became the worst of both worlds. You're like, now it just everyone does all the stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure. I mean, it's very much the idea you're like getting punched in the face, and you go, we shouldn't be punching people in the face. And then once they stop punching you in the face, you go, let's start punching some people in the face. Yeah. Yeah, I like punching people in the face.
I
but
saw-
I'm not having it happen to me.
I saw a ton of like everyone post anything and then immediately they go through all their Twitter and be like, this you?
Yeah.
Like, you know, it was like Portnoy was just like, you know, this is a tragedy or whatever. And they're like, here's you calling for fucking death of Greta Thunberg like a month ago. And it was just like anyone who speaks for a living too, you can find them saying anything, you know, anyone who's just like speaking 5 hours a day. It's like if you want to create some narrative or, you know, anyone who tweets all day, it's like you can almost always find something that relates that kind of makes them look stupid because, you know,
Easily.
especially if you take it out of any sort of context, right?
Yeah.
I saw a ton of people trying to be like, well, you know, Charlie Kirk, good because he wanted guns, like, and that's
Yeah,
what
yeah.
happens.
Oh, yeah.
I always think that one's like, it's such like a misunderstanding of like,
Well, he wasn't pro murder.
well, but that's like saying you like free speech, so then why don't you like that guy yelling slurs at you?
Yeah.
And you go, well, you can, you know, you could say I think people should be able to say what they want, but I don't want like 10 people yelling in my face.
Yeah, also,
You go,
yeah.
well, you said you love it, and you go, yeah, that's. I think you're like
Sure.
not understanding.
Yeah,
the
yeah,
point.
You're like, I'm pro Second Amendment. I'm not pro crime.
Right. Yeah.
Those are pretty two different things. And even the people who even said that, you're like, the gun that the you know, allegedly, because this is just so people know, this is Thursday afternoon that we're recording this, so something might develop between now because they still haven't caught the guy. They're like, they found the rifle in the woods, you know, all the fucking tinfoil hatters are just like, yeah, why would it do? They're like, this is like a professional who did this, and they're like, why would he leave? And then there was some report where they're like, came out where there was transgender stuff, like mottos, like
Not according to.
no, but it's fake. It's fake. Yeah. But apparently it's like Wall Street Journal reported.
No. But when it did happen, they said
like Luigi style.
Wall Street Journal said breaking ammunition engraved with transgender and anti-fascist ideology, and then CNN released an article said federal officials probe rifle and ammo scrawled with cultural phrases after Charlie Kirk
Or
killing.
cultural. I didn't
phrases,
see that.
a range of phrases related to cultural issues.
Oh,
Isn't that like, I guess you're saying it. They are saying
The
now-
ATF is saying that they're like,
This is something else?
That's not true. No, they're just saying that's not true.
Oh. But even when they thought it was true, they referred to it as a
Cultural.
range of phrases related to cultural issues.
Yeah.
That's fucking
Yeah.
wild.
But
way
I mean,
to
it is
explain that.
like in totality. I mean, I'm sure we'll learn more, but it is a crazy fucking story. Like, guy got one shot. Like even
my
even
original
Butler
thing,
was like multiple shots. Like, this is one.
in my
shot.
opinion, that was like insane. I don't know guns or whatever, but like you said, that was a shot people can make. I was talking to people at the stand last night, and people were just like, you know, some people I know that were, you know, shoot guns or whatever, that just grew up in a place where people have guns and went to the
Yeah.
range with their dad or went hunting or whatever. We're just like, saying like, nah, if I train for like a week, I can make that shot.
Yeah, I don't.
Apparently, it's like not as hard as I thought.
Like 250 yards, and it was like a super high caliber
on that type of gun.
Apparently, he had some kind of body armor on too. Like there's because some people are saying that.
How do you know that?
I've just seen people saying, because like I think he knew he was like, he had to have some measure of security, like, and some people said like you could see it.
Because just by seeing him, you mean
you could see it in this like shirt. I don't know if that's true, but some people are saying like I've seen some like, because all the gun experts kind of come out to kind of give their take. One guy who's just like, I'm like a military guy, and he's just like really that like wasn't a crazy shot. It was like some people think
he was saying that same thing.
And some people think that because the thing is like if you're the shooter, like people who have guns, like you aim for the chest, like the center of mass area, because that's like the most like likely to essentially all the vital organs,
as opposed to the neck.
Like you don't aim for the neck.
So that was a miss.
You're asking to, yeah. So it was either because it was like from an angle. There's like a explanation of it, but there was like because it was from an angle. Like I guess in the first 100 yards, the bullet actually like rises, and then gravity and like the velocity and whatever causes it to start dropping. But because it's an angle, it's like slightly different. I'm sure people who are really into guns are like, think I'm a fucking retard right now. But essentially,
is this a bad time to plug the Bugman versus Bugman gun challenge?
No, it was a great time actually. Yeah, it was a great time. But
80 more patrons.
I saw one guy who was just like who was like a military guy who was like, his thought was basically the bullet hit the body armor and then like, or like went in and then like it exited out his neck, and that's versus like it didn't actually hit him in the neck. Again, this is all like speculation purely, but if you hit the neck, you're like, no trained sniper is like aiming for your neck.
Gotcha.
No,
that makes sense.
That's a miss. That's like a lucky miss, I guess. Unfortunate or unlucky miss.
Yeah,
but like that's not, you're not aiming for like that's the last thing you would aim for.
I was kind of thinking about with the gun things. This is maybe a weird point, but like it's because like the idea of it's kind of one of those things where with the guns, anytime anything ever bad happens, it's like you almost have like this get out of jail free card where they're like, well, we want more guns, and you're just like, dude, there's so many. We've talked about there's so many guns. It's like if you're not getting rid of the guns, kind of reminds me as like the illegal immigrants is the same thing where you're just like, you can make a dent, but there's too many to ever like, you know what I mean? It was just like it's like that the left's guns is the right's illegal immigrants, where you're just like there's too many, and for both of them,
Let's hear it. Let's hear it. Ryan's theory corner. Let's hear it.
Oh, maybe you have something to add at this point.
I know.
I said gangs use both of them.
Yeah.
If you could think of any more things, where
they're generally both.
Well, I'm saying because it lines up perfectly.
They're generally both dark in tone.
They both help you get a lower price. And Danny has 5 in his backyard. All right. But no, doesn't that point kind of make sense though?
For sure. And one thing too with the like all the people on the left are like who want gun control. You're like, that was a hunting rifle. You're like, even the world where, because that wasn't.
Yeah, but that's kind of my point. Is like, but
you're like, that wasn't an AR-15.
It kind of is like you don't have to engage with the issue because you can always just say, like,
but you're like, there's no.
Well, I didn't want it.
There's no scenario where they're like, we're taking away people's like rifles to hunt deer.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's my point.
And that's what it was. So you're like, even if you're like this gun control person, you're like, yeah, that was like a hunting rifle. Like, it was like, it wasn't like some crazy magazine like that, those banana clips that have
that a kid took from his dad who bought at Walmart yesterday.
Or whatever, where you go, this thing is like automatic weapon that fires fucking 40 rounds in 2 seconds. Like, it wasn't that. Like, this was just like a hunting rifle. So like I think the gun control element of this is kind of moot.
So that's interesting that you kind of heard it was a miss. That makes sense to me. It makes sense. I kind of didn't hear that, but
you would never aim for the neck.
Yeah.
No.
Well, I thought it was interesting that like fucking, there was some like wild. They tried to do like a moment in silence in like the house, and then that started like a fight. Yankees did a whole thing, which at first I was just like, that seems like wild in New York to do like a big memorial. But then you're like, it's Steinbrenner, his son. So Steinbrenner was like a prominent Republican. His son stays out of politics, but like I'm sure he's friends with all those guys or whatever.
Probably,
yeah. So that might be like a personal friend of fucking Steinbrenner.
I saw Hassan Piker didn't like that. The Yankees.
I can't. What is that guy up to? You know what I mean? What's his hot take on this?
It's probably not great.
Boys, this episode is brought to you by Prizepicks. You make decisions every day, but on Prizepicks, being right can get you paid. Do not miss the excitement this season on Prizepicks, where it's good to be right.
Prizepicks is super fun, super simple to play, as many of you already might know. And man, is football season heating up. That Bills-Ravens game, holy, for a first game of the week, first week.
Where to me and JJ are talking about doing the Baltimore game.
Oh, really? Oh, man, dude, it's been heating up. Here are my picks for this week. I have got Saquon Barkley, more than one rushing TD. Josh Allen, who had a killer week last week, more than 270 passing yards. I got Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders, more than 224.5 passing yards, and Jordan Love of the Green Bay Packers, less than 234.5 passing yards.
Prizepicks is simple to play. You just pick more or less on 2 to 6 player stat projections. If you get the picks right, you can cash in. Prizepicks puts their users first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, secure. Prizepicks uses Venmo, Apple Pay, MasterCard, and more for quick and easy deposits into your account this football season. Prizepicks invented the flex play, which means you can still cash out if your lineup isn't perfect. You can double your money even if one of your picks doesn't hit. So download the app today and use the code BOYSCAST to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That is code BOYSCAST to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prizepicks, it's good to be right. Boys, there are plenty of fitness influencers out there trying to sell you less for more. We've talked about some of these guys on the podcast. FITBOD combines the workout planning and tracking you need to stay consistent and make progress. FITBOD customizes every workout, adapts as you improve to avoid boredom and plateaus in your journey, which that one is very important. As you know, you can start getting on autopilot. You start being the guy in the gym that's sitting there on your phone. Joey Swole is just chomping at the bit.
You see Joey Swole, you're running.
Joey
and that'll be the first time you ran that day.
That'll be the first time you ran that day because you were out here
Thank God for Joey
scrolling through
Swole.
the internet. Yes, exactly. So I've been using FitBod for years now, whether it's in my gym at my place or if it's at the gym on the road. You type in what the available equipment is. You set up a workout that works for you, keeps track of your improvement, uses new exercises that you might not think about. You also keep track of how long you've worked out a particular muscle group, so you're not the guy with the pad and a paper at the gym.
You don't want to be a paper guy. You start sweating all over that thing. You're like, what did I even do last week? I don't know. It's all blurry now.
Exactly. So listen, boys, you got to be in shape, and FitBod is the best way to do it with a personalized workout routine that suits your goals, fitness level, available equipment, workouts that adapt as you grow, tracks your muscle recovery, fine-tuned by experienced personal trainers who are certified. Level up your workouts with customized fitness plans that work for you with over 1,000 demonstration videos if you don't know how anything works. So it is time to level up your workout. Join FitBod today and get your personalized workout plan. 25% off your subscription, or you can try the app for free for 7 days with fitbod.me/boyscast. That is fitbod.me/boyscast. The people immediately, who did it? You're just like one of those things where we were kind of saying, it's the same as every group, just being like, fingers crossed. Like, dude, if this is when you find out who did it, it's like, it changes the trajectory by so much, right?
And the fact that they still haven't, again, because that's, a lot of people are like, this is like a sanctioned professional hit kind of thing. Because
if that's like, a trans person, that's bad news for trans people.
Oh, everybody doesn't want this to be their thing. Nobody wants this to be their member of their group.
No.
And they have a photo of it, but again, they had two guys, and they go, neither of them were of it. They go, we interrogated them, and neither of them were the suspect, and now they think they found this one guy. He's like,
I saw like a new guy,
skinny white guy they're looking for, but you're like, it is. I'm sure they'll find them in the next couple days, but. Or they'll kind of get the Thomas Matthew Crooks, where they're just like, we found him dead, burned his body, hosed down the site, nothing to see.
Yeah. Got rid of his dental records.
Yeah, you go just burn the body.
Scrubbed every video except for one where he was in a Blackstone commercial. Yeah.
Yeah, just to kind of keep you guys. And I mean, look.
But if you see this as like a child gender, like doctor or some shit, you know what I mean?
I mean, that's like what you would think. Like when you try and think of like motives and stuff, you're just like
The Mossad one doesn't seem that makes any sense because it's like the guy's like pretty
he
pro-Israel.
said, he's super pro-Israel, but then he was like on Ben Shapiro's, because that's like I've seen like Dan Bilzerian posting where like basically he was on Ben.
Well, those guys, a lot of those guys, for them, they have to post about everything, and they don't know how to post about anything other than that.
Well, it's
so
also
they're just
like when all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail,
Right.
They just go, how did Israel do this? But there was like some video of Charlie Kirk being like, yeah, you know, like a lot of like left-wing Jews are responsible for all this like you know, ADL and like a lot of the censorship and a lot of like, you know, they were pro Black Lives Matter and blah, 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 all this stuff. And so then everybody's like, started noticing too much. Oh, that's what happens. Too much noticing. Speaking of Jews, if you guys have a couple bucks, you don't need to give it to the Patreon because a friend of the show, Rabbi Shmuley.
Tell them Rabbi Shmuley. The guy's fucking too much, buddy.
He's insane. He is fucking nuts. But so Rabbi Shmuley is in the light of this violence against political commentators, I guess. He puts himself in that group. So he's concerned about what happened. So he's set up a GoFundMe on the back of Charlie Kirk's assassination, titled "Help Us Protect Rabbi Shmuley and His Work."
Fuck off.
So this is Rabbi Shmuley is targeted and attacked all over the world as the best known defender of Israel in the English speaking world globally, but the attacks against him are out of control and his very life and that of his family and his work are in danger. We are raising a $500,000 security fund to protect him and the World Values Network and its staff. So currently he's raised $756. So honestly, I would say, guys, if you could just cancel your Patreon memberships for maybe like a month.
For Shmuley.
Yeah, and then just take that money,
that guy's fucking...
give it to Shmuley.
Dude, that guy's done more damage to the Jews than David Duke. Fucking stinks, dude.
Dude, you're like $756. He goes, didn't work the way I thought it was.
He's like one step away from like defending child pornography. He's like, if you hate child pornography, you hate the Jews, and you're like, please stop, dude.
Yeah. But imagine he's like Charlie Kirk gets killed, and he goes, could be some money in this.
There's got to be some fucking shekels to be had.
There's some shekels.
Dude, the other
756 of them.
This kind of leads me to the other one that a little bit you sent me, but the guy who's promoting his Instagram at the fucking
the fucking like the influencer, and that's the guy who too. They have a video of him after. Like basically Charlie Kirk got shot and like everybody like evacuated because Charlie Kirk was handing out like 47 hats and the guy went and stole a bunch of the hats off the table.
No, he didn't.
He did. Yeah.
He was like free merch.
Dude, literally just grave robbing essentially.
That's grave robbing is a great term for it.
Dude, literally he just like everybody was around. He just sees a table full of merch and he goes, "Would be a shame if I didn't help myself to a couple of these."
Oh my God.
Pop these bad boys up on eBay.
What, like Turning Point USA merch?
Yeah, the Turning Point, like 47 hats. It's like red 47 hats.
There's some
shame if
this
collector's item.
Fucking, you gotta be fucking next level.
Can we play the video? Is so funny.
This video. So he's to explain it. He's basically
in the middle of a shooting.
He's in the middle of a shooting, and he keeps shouting out his Instagram. This is sick, dude.
This is a literal sickness.
Is your boy out on TikTok? There was just a gunshot at Charlie Kirk. We're in Utah. There's a gunfire. This is not a joke. Hey, let's go. Is your boy out on TikTok? There was just a gunfire in Utah.
It's your boy out on TikTok.
There is a gunfire in Utah. Shots fired here in Utah. This is not a joke. Charlie Kirk, outer TikTok, Mormon Central, Utah. There was a gun that just fired off. Here at Charlie Kirk, I am not.
There is a shooting right now. Come on, let's go. Let's go. Elder TikTok. Do not forget to like and subscribe.
Ryan Long Comedy, like and subscribe.
Ryan Long Comedy. That's a sickness.
Sick.
It's
insane. Like
you don't need to call it your thing. It's on your thing.
Yeah, it's on
mental
your
patient.
Yeah, it's on your thing. It'll go viral just for being like a timely on the ground kind of.
Dude, this
and he's.
there's an active shooting. Don't forget Elder TikTok. You already know what it is. Like and subscribe. All right, everybody. Fucking
Dude.
that was a next level nutcase.
Next level. Like actual like
Dude, people's brains are fried right now. I've actually thought Don Lemon's been up to some fucking wacky ass shit with this. Well, first of all, he keeps being like he's super far right figure. He keeps saying you're just like pretty standard conservative,
yeah,
like
standard
pretty
Christian conservative.
pretty standard conservative. But then he's
it is funny. He posts the stuff of like
he's like a sociopath, obviously.
yeah, where someone's like, "Yo, you're a fucking moron." He goes, "That'd be a good clip."
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. That guy is such a like dirty slave to the views.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
he is he does not give a fuck other than
he
those
just
numbers.
He goes, "That's good content."
Yeah. Who do you think would be like the left wing version of this if someone was like murdered to like contextualize in your mind? Like maybe if Hassan Piker was like assassinated or something.
I don't think Hassan Piker has.
Cenk Uygur maybe.
I honestly think like
Is
in
there a good
terms,
version?
like it would be an actual politician, like in terms of the actual
Like an AOC or something?
Like an AOC would be like
Like the
probably-
equivalent would be like if AOC was
I think
because you're right.
so.
Charlie Kirk could have like he's pretty involved in politics in like a higher way because he's actually like
he's-
mobilizing. He's not just like a commentator. I
he's
guess.
way bigger than a streamer for sure.
So you think that like it would be the equivalent of like AOC or something like that maybe?
Yeah, I think so. Somewhere in that ballpark.
Yeah.
That was the first one I thought of. Would be something like AOC.
Yeah, pretty wild, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Don Lemon's been up to weird shit. You mentioned that it was the girl made the joke that was essentially the Norm Macdonald joke.
Yeah, and then she had to walk. I mean, she's such a fucking retard that like she always does this. There's some element where I'm like, because
Want to explain it?
Yeah, I have it here. So this is Rachel Gilmore, former Global News. She was on Global News. She's like calling her left wing is almost like not accurate because she is like she's so far out there.
She's yeah.
She's nuts. Like, and she's just like such a constant like victim. Like she'll say crazy shit and then she'll just be like, "Why is everybody so mad at me?" Like she's like, "I'm so afraid," and she's very much hides. She's like, "Oh, like it's because I'm a girl and all this stuff," and like
The whole ball of wax.
every single thing. But so she posted this. She goes yesterday, terrified to think of how far-right fans of Kirk, aching for more violence, could very well turn this into an even more radicalizing moment. Will they now believe their fears have been proven right and feel they have the right to retaliate regardless of who actually was behind the initial shooting? Which is basically like...
I'll read the Norm joke.
Yeah.
What terrifies me about ISIS, if they were to detonate a nuclear device and kill 50 million Americans, imagine the backlash against peaceful Muslims.
yeah, essentially she did the bit. She did
where you're just like, there might be more violence. You go, there already is right now.
Yeah, there is. I know. But and then she's now on Blue Sky fucking crying. Probably has her own GoFundMe set up. I don't even know what she does. Like she worked for Global for like, and she's like in Canada just being like everybody's a Nazi. The truckers are Nazis. She's just like that.
Just full thing. Yeah.
Calls everybody a Nazi.
Here's the Israel's ones because there's a whole bunch of them. I go, pretty sure Mossad CIA killed Charlie Kirk because he was starting to privately question the state of Israel's actions. All of his Israel-related ex-posts for the past few months showed a strong anti-Israel stance from his followers. This probably started his JQ journey.
I should do a TikTok series, a day in the life of my JQ journey. First I wake up and I make myself a coffee. Arabica, obviously. I'm not going to support those Jews.
That's what Arabica.
It's like a type of bean.
Oh. That's why a day in the life of my JQ journey.
But like with the cadence, a day in the life
Yeah,
of
of
my
course.
JQ journey. First thing I do is make myself a nice Arabica and open my copy of Mein Kampf. I'm almost halfway through. Hitler
Starts to make a little more sense for me.
Hitler had some pretty good ideas.
There's a reason why they never show his speeches in English. Anyways.
Oh, also they fucking Paramount pulled the South Park episode.
I saw that.
Which is ridiculous. Everybody trying to be like, yo, this is like South Park's fault. Like Charlie Kirk liked that. Like he thought it was like Charlie Kirk didn't,
Or at least pretended to, yeah. But
or whatever. But it's like I watched the episode. It didn't cast him in some like insane light. It just was like a
parodying what he actually does.
And it was like a funny episode. And then to think like South Park radicalized people. Like I know South Park probably,
yeah, we've had a version. Remember we were going to do this sketch where it was a guy destroys kindergarteners.
Yeah.
And then it was, like a bunch of like actual like grade ones.
Yeah,
and then he shows up and like destroys them. And it was just like
a bunch of children. But anyways, it was like ridiculous. People yesterday were like, oh, South Park's going to get sued. And you're like, for what? Like who watched South Park? And you're like, yeah, it's It's time.
Satanic panic always.
Yeah.
This was one of the ones that I thought was like a crazy article. So this is I forget the. Okay, hold on. Let me just double check what this source was. Hindustan Times, but Times Now, Times of India. So a bunch of these, like, you know, they have all the Times that are, I guess, a conglomerate together.
Yeah.
Charlie Kirk net worth. How rich is Trump ally who was shot at Utah University? Isn't that a crazy article?
Sure, that's not from the Jerusalem Post? Hindustan Times, you say?
The media is fucking socio.
Yeah.
Also,
Also,
real, actual.
I had a tweet kind of go viral because it's funny because all the world leaders were like kind of, and then Keir Starmer goes, "My thoughts this evening are with the."
What was your tweet? Faxed?
Loved ones, loved ones of Charlie Kirk. It's heartbreaking that a young family has been robbed of a father, husband, blah blah blah. I'm like, wouldn't you government literally jail Charlie Kirk?
Yeah.
For what he said.
Yeah, the Starmer government.
For Starmer is like,
yeah, you would want he'd be in jail for what he says.
Yeah, he would be like if Charlie Kirk was in England, like you'd put him in jail,
right?
And you're like, now you're all of a sudden
you try to re-educate him.
Yeah, you try to. Well, I guess maybe he goes. That's why he's upset because he goes, if he lived in England, we would have put him in jail, re-educated him, and he would have come out.
He would have came out,
lived the rest of his life as a good, obedient boy.
Right.
Yeah.
The Kirk has an estimated net worth of $12 million as per celebrity net worth, according to Associated Press. Do you think that's pretty crazy to die and then fucking just doing like an MTV Cribs profile on you?
Yeah, the net worth comes out.
So there was one 20-year-old student. Her name, her last name is Middleton. I forget her first name. But she was one 20-year-old student who wrecked Charlie Kirk in a debate. So according to, whatever their side, they thought this girl had a really good performance when she debated him in England.
Okay.
And then she basically posted a post. She's like 21-year-old chick, right? And then she posted being like, this is fucked up, something like that. Like, I speak for a living and this is, not safe, blah, 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 right? And then her followers like got really mad at her,
right?
Basically being like,
"You should be celebrating.
You should be celebrating," essentially. And then she was, so she became like a big like target of people reposting and being like, this is crazy or whatever.
Sure.
So that was like an interesting one where she posted like, she's just like a normal person where she was just like, I speak for a living. We shouldn't be getting shot at these events. Kind of thing. It's fucked up.
Yeah, a pretty reasonable take. And then people are like, no, this is a good thing.
Yeah, a lot of people like hate debate. You know what I mean?
Sure.
They think that, their opinion is like the Keir Starmer opinion where they're just like, well, no, these things shouldn't be debated. They're already like settled.
Yeah, they're settled. There should be no debate on people's identities or whatnot. And no, I don't know. Maybe in England, maybe in fucking that commie caliphate over there that you got going on there. Sure, but in America, you're allowed to.
Yeah, that's what people are.
Everybody seems to be waiting for like they go, there's gonna be like some big uprising and all.
Definitely, that's what I've heard. A lot of people being like, it's on.
Right wingers don't do shit though.
Is that what your opinion is?
That's the thing is, well, it's funny because if you watch like CNN for the last 10 years, you'd be like, yeah, man, these fucking right wingers are. We're 2 seconds from them, just like every militia.
Isn't there like right wing shooters that do stuff all the time? Like, wasn't a Democrat?
I'm saying in terms of there was like in Minnesota. I'm just saying
stuff happens.
They act like, oh, there's going to be like militias like in the streets, like in terms of like everybody's like civil war, and they're like right wingers barely even protest.
No, it's going to be Matt Walsh making videos and making AdSense dollars.
Yeah. You're like right wingers like they're like they always say that about like the left is way better at organizing than the right. Like that's why like a lot of their success comes from the fact that like they.
Do you believe that to be true?
Absolutely. You look
Turning Point USA was pretty organized.
Well, I'm talking about in terms of like protesting and stuff like that. Like you see like the George Floyd, like again, like people keep being like, where's our thing for fucking that girl who got shot? Now granted this happened maybe, but you're like, there wasn't going to be a thing.
No.
There was not going to be some national thing where every right wing person takes to the streets.
Well, yeah, because there are more women on their side and it's easier to get them hysterical.
Yeah, I agree. Like, but I'm just like, it's not, they're just like that is not their strength generally, and they're more like
or maybe you could go the other way where you're like it is a strength to not have a bunch of deranged psychos fucking shooting people, but I just don't know if it's totally true that there isn't any deranged psychos shooting people.
No. I'm not saying there are deranged psycho. I'm talking about in terms of like the mobilizing thing because you always they're always like white supremacists or like the greatest.
You mean like
threat.
running like a huge rally or whatever?
Yeah,
Truckers had a big one.
The truckers had one, but I mean, I guess in Canada that was, but in the States, like you just don't, like J6 is like the closest thing, obviously.
Yeah, and that wasn't organized at all.
It wasn't particularly organized, but I mean, like, think about how many left-wing protests are. There's like the Tesla ones, No Kings
It's
rally,
nonstop.
women's. Yeah, it's like a new thing every fucking weekend.
Yeah, it's more of a part of their identity to like be a protester.
That's true. But I'm just saying they do more of it and they're better at it.
We paid some Etsy witches to curse Charlie Kirk. This came out 2 weeks ago. This was
Big yikes! 2 days ago.
2 days ago?
Big yikes, Jezebel.
Should the Etsy witches get sued?
I don't know. They probably cast a spell, an anti-litigation spell.
Anti-litigation spell.
Yeah, probably the anti-litigation spell kind of covers that. That was probably part of it. And then Jezebel had to put out an editor's note.
What did the editor's note say again?
I sent it to you yesterday.
Yeah, I know.
The editor's note said. Editor's note. This is they put so this article came out on Monday, and then the editor's note came out like an hour after this started going like mega viral. It says editor's note. The story was published on September 8th. Jezebel condemns the shooting of Charlie Kirk in the strongest possible terms. We do not endorse, encourage, or excuse political violence of any kind. And then what is the title of the article again?
We paid some Etsy witches to curse Charlie Kirk.
Yeah, like a figurative curse. Like maybe his teeth fall out or something.
That's what she said. She said that there was different curses. One that makes him shit his pants. Insanity hex. Yeah.
Sounds like fucking
Career crusher.
Sounds like these witches have been getting high on their own supply, huh?
Definitely. Doing the insanity hex.
You go, I accidentally drank the insanity hex. Thought it was fucking Perrier.
The other ones they said was the shit your pants spell, insanity, career crusher, just a general Republican hex. And then she said, the internet ruined me in 1,000 ways, but one of the strangest gifts, I can now buy a curse easily as I can buy a phone on charger. So if you were thinking, when we were talking about women spending money on bad things, like, can you imagine looking at your thing and you just like, your fucking wife spent $350 on Charlie Kirk hexes? Hey,
Yeah.
what is this? You go, we couldn't afford not to.
Yeah, we couldn't afford not to. She goes, I mean,
Premature balding, so there's one that they can make them a little balder.
okay. So they're not like super crazy hexes.
Are you interested in punishing Kirk for the years of regressive rhetoric he shouted at America's youth and anyone within earshot? Here at Jezebel, we're about to find out, because there's a spell for that.
I love that anyone in earshot, it's like people come to see him. He's not like some fucking street corner like proselytizing. They're like, he has an event, people come and see it. Like,
Yeah.
like it's like he's fucking has a megaphone and he's just like shouting at people walking by on the street.
Now, is it ethical to curse a man I've never met? Probably not. But is it unethical to let him keep talking? Yes. So here we are in the gray area. This is fucking.
Do you think that Etsy shop has like tons of 5-star reviews just like pouring in?
Well, I don't know if she said which one it was. I wonder. Yeah. Reclaiming control. Whether the target is a boss, an ex, or a public figure, the underlying current is the same. People want to shift energy in their lives and around them. So she feels like she's pretty powerful with her spells.
Yeah. Oh, this is actually a big. This is a big industry on Etsy, actually.
Buddy, I know girls who do it.
Yeah, the spells are like. Dude,
We probably have spells on us already. You don't even know about it.
Oh man, that would explain a lot. Yeah, this would explain.
They gave you a fucking crying spell.
Yeah,
They gave you the eye watering spell.
dude, some of these are fucking. This one's $750. A Lucifer and Mammon money pact. Attract wealth, elevate financial status, overcome hurdles, secure prosperity. Plus 2 free.
$700.
The best part, it's 25% off. Only for the next 32
You
minutes.
can't afford not to do it to get rich.
And there's only one left, low in stock. Which how is a spell low in stock?
Fuck.
Probably
Takes a lot out of her.
Takes a lot out of her. Like after she does the spell, like her hair starts falling out. Like it's kind of like what was that?
Getting rich isn't free.
Yeah. So it's like it takes so much out of her. She's like, I gotta like take a week off after every one of these. Like I can't just do them over and over again because like there's a real toll on the body.
Toll it takes on her body.
Yeah. So
Do you believe, in your opinion,
This is such a scam. Black magic wealth ritual. Same day casting. 70% off today.
so you get rich in the same day? That's a tall promise.
It's 75% off. Normally $140. You get them for $35.
I mean, yeah, it's $1 billion. It's actually 99.999% off. How much is it? $800.
Yeah. I mean, look, if my wife was like, I want to start a business, if your wife's trying to start some business that's like, just waste time, this is it. Low overheads on the spell business.
Right.
She was like, what do you need? She goes, I need to go buy like 6 candles, a pack of matches.
But it might not be low overhead when she's selling her spell for $450 and had $8 worth of supplies.
Well, no, I don't think you get a spell.
No, because she's not doing them in bulk. So she's like, I needed 1 pipe cleaner, so I had to buy buy 6,000 pipe cleaners because that's how they come in a big pack. Then I needed Elmer's glue, so then I had to buy a 6-pack because that was the only one that was at that store.
The spell business seems like almost pure profit. This is like a pure profit business.
Well, that's the part that you're forgetting is they don't have to do any of it.
Yeah, you just go, did you do the spell? You go, yeah.
Yeah.
And she's just fucking...
Here's your certificate.
Playing Candy Crush. She's like, yeah.
Oh, spell's done. Your certificate's in your inbox.
Yeah.
So the world's in a fucking crazy place. I feel like the week even leading up to this was nuts. I mean, it started with the Philly Karen, where I felt like that was like a breaking point for people. Mm-hmm. It's if you remember when like the girl that stole the ball, it was, and then the girl stole the ball, and then there was the guy who gave the ball back to her, he got like startled. Do you know what I mean?
Well, he was just like, I don't want to deal with it.
But I felt like everything I saw online was just like, this man's a bitch. Like I would have fucking...
It was a bit of a bitch move.
Of course it was a little bit of a bitch move, but like, it's like, I like to think that I wouldn't have done that. I like to think that what I would have done is if they came and they said...
I would have not taken the ball look, if I caught a ball and like maybe it was up for grabs and like his chick's making a huge stink out of it and I go, whatever, it's a baseball, you want this more than I would not take it out of my kid's glove. Be like, go pull it out of my child's glove to give it to her. Like,
no, what I would have done is I would have held it up in the air. I like to think this is what I would have done.
Yeah.
Put it in the air and then just been like, who thinks I should give it to her instead of my son?
Yeah.
Who do you guys, let's do a vote. Who thinks the old lady should get the ball? Who thinks the little kid should get the ball?
Yeah.
I think I would do something like that.
Really publicly shame her.
Yeah, maybe like a magic trick and be all right, it's like do the thing where you kind of pretend to give her the ball and then you drop it and then you go like that. And then she goes, where is it? And you go, check your dry ass vagina.
I mean, that would have been a fucking boss move if he goes, okay, and he grabs it to her. She goes to grab it and goes, psych, stupid bitch.
Throw it back on the field then see, but yeah, but everyone on the internet was just like, I would have stone cold stunnered her, but it was just one of those things where,
my face.
But it wasn't really to me about the thing.
Look, if you
never let anyone disrespect
baseball
you.
is first come, first serve. If you're not ripping it out of someone's hands,
It's until it comes to a kid. If you get the ball and there's a kid there, you have to give it to the kid.
yeah, you give it to the kid. Which the guy did. And then the woman's just like, I want it. You're like, you know what happens to baseballs that you catch? They go in a drawer for the rest of your life. They're not worth anything. It's not like a home run ball.
Yeah, but you could say that about baseball cards or whatever. Like kids like that shit.
But I'm saying for the woman. Like the woman's getting this ball.
I don't know what her deal was.
She just goes, okay, I got this ball. And you go, okay. And now it goes in a drawer for the rest of your life.
But she had the haircut. The Karen's is the scariest person of all time. Now, she might not be caught up on the fact that people don't like Karens anymore.
Oh, you don't think that's made it to her?
I don't know if it has.
Yeah.
I feel like
she watched that movie, Karen, and she goes, this is a movie about
She didn't watch that. I think she's been watching like MSNBC and CNN and stuff like that. And she was like, white ladies like me are saving the world still. I feel like she might be still living in that world where like I'm saving the world and these guys are bad. A bunch of white men. I took the ball away from them.
Yeah.
And I get if that guy's not living in the new world, he might be also like, this is a scary woman. And also he might just be a bit of a bitch.
Yeah.
However,
like
you're allowed to be a bit of a bitch. Like,
yeah.
Everyone doesn't have to be.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
I mean, they made out for it all the better because he ended up getting to meet the player after the game and got a bat and a ball because they all felt bad, and she got villainized. So in the end, it did work out. But I mean, it is a crazy move to pull the ball out of your kid's glove to give it to some old woman.
I agree with all that stuff, but what I'm kind of saying was it felt like it was starting to be like this weird boiling point where it was just like there was a sort of people drawing a lot of lines of like, this guy is unacceptable, this has to go, like we're putting our foot down, men need to be, and it just felt like it was a lot of like, normally you'd see kind of people like making fun of it. I felt like I saw people like fucking preaching, if that makes sense.
Sure.
There's a lot of people almost like preaching, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes. Fellas, the fall is here, the beers are colder, football's back, and the fits are getting layered. But if you're still rocking old, beat-up boxers under those flannels and jeans, we gotta talk. It is time to upgrade to Meundies. These things are ridiculously soft, like you don't want to take them off soft. And by the way, I'll say, for myself and for everyone else probably who's been in this scenario, you never been at the end of laundry week or whatever it is where you just got the crappy underwear left?
Of course.
And it does actually sort of a bad way to
You're
start
looking
your
at
day.
them, they're looking at you like, what are we doing
Whereas when you
here?
start off and you have some nice Meundies in there, it actually does start you off better.
Oh, for sure.
Than when you're at the end of the cycle and you're just like, I gotta put those on like some loser.
Yeah, some loser.
Exactly.
Resentful of your own underwear choices.
Yeah, it's not a good way to start your day. So Meundies doesn't put you in that situation. You're starting off fresh, man. You're looking good for the ladies. But the reason you don't want to take them off is they're made with micromodal fabric that seems and feels like a cloud. They still breathe when things heat up. They got legit stretch, so whether you're crushing wings on the couch or you're tossing pigskin, you are covered. Just in time for spook season, Meundies limited edition Halloween line features fun, festive prints, including glow-in-the-dark underwear, so you can bring the spooky vibes underneath it all, and the ladies love it. Themed underwear
big
is
time.
actually underrated, by the way. They got a style for everyone with 20 different styles, 100 different colors and prints, unmatched comfort. They're responsibly sourced, then use sustainably sourced material and work with partners that care for their workers. And they got a problem-free philosophy. So if you're not happy with your first pair of Meundies, it's on Meundies. Who loves Meundies? Well, they got 30 million pairs sold, 90,000 5-star reviews. Meundies is an essential must-have for every drawer. Right now, as a listener of our show, you can get cozy and spooky for less with deals up to 50% off at Meundies.com/boyscast when you use the promo code BOYSCAST. That is Meundies.com/boyscast. Use that promo code BOYSCAST for up to 50% off Meundies. Comfort that's made for fall. Fellas, say goodbye to sticky notes and calendar confusion with Skylight. The Skylight calendar is here to keep your family organized. This beautifully designed digital display syncs your existing calendars, making it effortless to track events, appointments, reminders in one easy-to-see place. We've been using it here at the Boys Cast. We got all our schedules
Yeah,
synced
it's
up.
pretty slick, too.
Yeah, we keep it right at the back there.
You got all these, you can put your meals, your photos, your lists. It's really cool. And it looks like a picture frame that you just kind of hang on the wall.
There isn't a really better solution for a bunch of people trying to figure out, you go, especially at your home, you're just like, oh, what's the thing? You're always getting told like, oh, we're doing this thing. You just put it on the calendar.
I know. And some of you wiseacres are like, oh, your thing's empty. Yeah, it's October 2026. We're not divulging secrets of the Boys Cast.
Yeah, exactly. Picture this. Your kid reminds you of a school project at bedtime before it's due. Sound familiar? With Skylight Calendar, you can ignore those last-minute oops moments. Keeps your schedule in one place, so only surprises in your life are the fun ones. Like when you find money in that winter coat.
Oh, that's a best.
Fun surprises. They're speaking Danny's language with that copy right there. Skylight Calendar was designed to connect the digital and the non-digital worlds while bringing families together. It's a Wi-Fi connected digital display that showcases your family's schedule with clarity, color, brilliance in either a 10 or 15-inch HD touchscreen. It's an all-in-one smart calendar, and it syncs seamlessly with Google Calendar, Apple Calendar, Outlook, and more, giving a customizable view for daily, weekly, or monthly planning. So I can't recommend this enough. It's probably the best way for a bunch of people to sync schedules, put stuff on the calendar that everyone else is paying attention to, whether that be a
we're both
dodgeball.
childless, but man, I bet if you have kids, this thing is a lifesaver.
Yeah, exactly, right? But also if you have a girlfriend that's like a kid, it doesn't matter.
And they all are.
Hey, with your free Skylight companion app, you can add or update events, lists, or more on the go. You're actually, I'm going to take that back. It's the opposite. It's the guy's more like the kid.
Yeah.
Where the girl's like, hey, we're doing this thing, and you're just like, just put it on the calendar, and then it syncs up to my thing, and then I'll look at it after. So you can always, it's just an easy way to do everything. With Skylight companion app, you can add or update events, lists, and more on the go. Your happiness is Skylight's happiness. So in 120 days, if you're not 100% thrilled with your purchase, you can return it for a full refund, no questions asked. And right now, Skylight's offering our listeners $30 off the 15-inch calendars by going to myskylight.com/boyscast. You just head on over to myskylight.com/boyscast for $30 off your 15-inch calendar. That is myskylight.com/boyscast. So that happened. And then there was a few things like that. I felt like it was a very hot week. And then the race war, which I don't know if you've chosen your side yet.
Whites?
Yeah.
Is that an option?
We have to ask the people again. I can do a vote on my Twitter.
Can you do a vote on your, what team do I? Can I go join the Whites?
So a woman from Ukraine, this was a first thing where the media was kind of doing the same thing where they're downplaying like crazy, right?
This is
man stabs a woman on the
borderline
train.
scandal.
I'm watching murders again.
First off, we didn't even find out about this. This happened on August 22nd in Charlotte. It was, I'm sure it was a local news story, just like some man kills woman on train, like just, some fucking, like just whatever, like throwaway little story.
Yeah.
Or whatever, especially, and then I guess the footage got released. Someone started tweeting. Elon was like, obviously the mainstream media didn't cover this because it's a black man.
And when they did cover it, the articles were like,
MAGA's in outrage.
MAGA uses another it was all that, right? Yeah. And it was like, Charlotte leaders criticized over killing Ukrainian women as Trump and MAGA target another Democrat city. Stabbing video fuels MAGA's crime message. And it's like, that's the Norm tweet again, where it's like, crime is fueling their crime message or kind of thing, right? But the point that they're making, they go, videos are easily shared or leaked and can instantly pollinate across social media. A visual counterpoint to statistics showing crime decreases, blah, blah. So the first part, you go, there's 2 points. One is when they say stuff like that, you go, well, you can say that about anything. You go, yeah, but you guys nonstop use videos for your narratives that don't support net data, which is, like nonstop, right? So you go, you're guilty of that more than anyone. And you go, the second part of it, you're just like, okay, but when they say that crime is decreased, they mean since like the all-time high of of like in the COVID,
and the guy also,
but not like in general, it's still up. It's just not up. It's like it's just down from like the absolute all-time high in
the guy
lawless
was, like,
cowboy COVID.
Career felon, like had 14, and I know he was schizophrenic. Although a video did come out today, actually, like an extended video, because essentially originally they were like, this isn't race related, and then a video came out the next day. It was sort of on Tuesday, and he's like, I got that white bitch. And then a video came out today where he was like, he goes to the end of the subway car, and then some guy's like, man, she's bleeding really bad, and he's just like, she called me the N-word. And it's like, she didn't say anything.
I didn't see that.
That came out today. That's like in the last like few hours. I saw that.
That's what he went with?
He basically goes, she called me the N-word.
Well, the news was trying to basically say that they were trying to say those videos were fake.
No, it's just the security footage of the train car.
Yeah, and then I saw Van Jones, that guy. He did like an interview, and he was just like, it's like, just because someone kills someone like doesn't make it racial, and you're just like, yeah, that obviously is just can be true, but you're just like, have you looked in the mirror, told that to yourself? Like, what are you, crazy?
Sure. And again, we all know, and like everybody knows, it's almost trite to say it.
Of course.
But it's like if the roles were reversed.
It's obviously true. It's like a truism or whatever. But
it's like obviously, and you know what? Like, there's no.
But there is a point where I guess they like it's like it's too much in people's faces or a little bit.
Yeah, and look, there's no question, like the way news works essentially, like the way something gets elevated to be like a national news story is generally like some local affiliate covers a story, and then they probably like send it up to like the big guys to be like, if you're like a CBS affiliate, you go, hey, this thing happened today, like you guys can choose to make this a bigger story or not. And obviously someone saw it and they go, no thank you. Like that decision was made at some point where someone saw it. Like for them to play dumb, you go, no, we just didn't hear about this. You're like, no, you heard about it. And
of course.
And and their probably response would just be like, which is not the true thing, but they would just be like, yeah, not every murder is, there's 20,000 plus murders in America every year. Like, not every murder.
Their only good argument is like, if they just be like, yeah, we're biased, but alternative media is just as big as us now, and they're also biased. Like, if they just admit, like, on that level.
Sure. Which is, I guess we all know that, but
on that was the day before this, and everyone was like, this is white George Floyd. People were posting fucking white squares. Someone spent $500K, or like, I think they raised $3 million for people to go write murals or whatever.
To make murals all over America of this girl, some tech guy, and then Elon Musk kicked in $1 million.
But I think there is a point where you're like you're kind of right, where you're just like, the right's not good at things. You're just like, we'll just do the same thing they did, and you're just like, but wasn't your argument that it was bad?
Right, exactly.
You're like, wasn't your argument that it was bad? And you're just like, well, we'll do the same thing, and then you're kind of like, first of all, it's
their argument also with George Floyd being bad was also like, this guy wasn't a good guy. Like that was an element where she was like, she literally like did nothing. Like she was just sitting there. And I mean, yeah, like they really should reopen the fucking mental asylums in this country. Because
isn't that like almost the only option?
I mean, the guy was a schizophrenic. Like he had a phone call that he had like made to the police like months ago, essentially saying like they put something in my brain, because that was like, because they were like, why was he out? And his last charge was misuse of 911, which you're like, yeah, you're not locking a guy away for, because some people.
No, but what happens? I think a lot of these people, like, you know, there's the puncher in my area, right?
Yeah,
the guy walking around like punching women or whatever. And he apparently he's deaf, so they don't know what to do with him. They bring him in the thing. He's like punches another woman. They bring him in for like 45 minutes, and then George Soros comes, like unlocks the door, and he goes, "You should come with me."
Yeah.
You know,
he goes,
or Alex
Pinky
Soros.
swear me you won't do it again.
Alex,
come on, pinky swear.
Alex Soros comes and gives the judge money to let him go. I mean, there is so many people like that cooking around. Like when I was in the East Village, there's like the guy had burns all over his body. It was like 99% of the time you'd watch that guy.
And
and
Mr. Burns?
I did not call him Mr. Burns.
Oh, you missed out.
99% of the time you'd see that guy, he'd be like, "How's it going?" And then 1 out of 10 times, or yeah, probably more like maybe 9 out of 10, so maybe not 99 out of 100, but probably 90% of the time he was just like, "Oh, how's it going, Bob?" And then 1 out of 10 times you'd see him screaming in a woman's face, you know, throwing stuff, like having, you know, a meltdown, like, you know, trying to fight some like pedestrian or whatever.
Yeah, because like, look, I agree, you can't just put you can't just lock away the key for everybody who has schizophrenia, but also like not everybody who's schizophrenic is like violent, but like there is a stat.
Yeah, but the ones that were violent like 8 times.
Yeah, you go, that seems like a good thing. Like, I mean, the United States in the 50s, they used to have like, I think it was, I had the stat somewhere. I think it used to be, they used to have like 350 psychiatric beds, essentially like, you know, asylums for every 100,000 people. I have it here somewhere. But
well, they always say it's like in major cities, they go, it's 300 people that did all this shit.
In 1955, they had 100 for every 100,000 U.S. citizens. There were 340 psychiatric beds. Now it's like 10 or something.
People really
right, so they're just like, we just are like, we're not doing mental institutions anymore,
right? Because they were like they
probably had their own issues.
But there is also another thing where they go, that stat where they're like, it's 400 people doing like all the shit.
Yeah,
they almost like, a lot of people don't like that stat because it makes the problem like solvable. You know, it's like no, the problem isn't that like 400 people that have like on their 9th offense, like, you know, kind of should be in an insane asylum. They're like, what should actually happen is we should get another $1 million for our foundation today.
Right. And also, dude, the judge who let him go in Charlotte wasn't even a lawyer, which is so crazy.
I didn't get that part. Yeah, you were telling me that.
It's just like, she's not even a lawyer. Like, she's just like appointed, and then she was like I don't know if it was her, because like I guess it's all like just like a process of just like appointments. Like these aren't, so you don't need to be a lawyer to be a judge, which seems crazy to me. But I guess in America it's like different, because judges here on a certain level are elected. Like, you run to be a judge.
Yeah,
like you run to be a politician, and so you don't.
That's weird.
It is weird. Same with like sheriffs. Like sheriffs are like unelected like position here for some reason. I don't know why. But then like, I don't know if it was the judge who let him go or it was like the one who appointed him, but they were like, because it's basically 3 black women, and they're all like DEI, like have like DEI like side businesses, you know.
Oh,
like,
really?
like DEI like consulting things. So then when people, you know, people will be like, oh, this is DEI, and you go, kind of is. Like, because people will throw that around.
But that's why I say you can always, it's like you can always get your policy without making it racial. Like, even if you're saying just like, you know, on both sides, if you're like, get rid of crime, and they're just like, well, we want to talk about where race it is. It was like, well, either way, if you try to get rid of it, it's like, it'll solve that without you having to talk about race. The same way that if they're talking about like, you know, when they're like, oh, we want to give, you know, certain people of certain races money. It's like, just say we want more money for poor people. You're going to have the same effect. And they're like, well, then some white people might get the money. And you're like, yeah, that's so
terrible.
That's like, I guess you're going to have to swallow that pill. That some, like, there might be, you know what I mean? That if you, it just seems like a better way to do it. But if you've lived in any like area that's wild, like, you know, I remember when I lived in Parkdale, it was just like, or East Village, like same of those people. It's like, it is, everyone does know, you go, it's not that like this is like some lawless place. It's that there's 10 people that are, you go, there's 10 people in this area that are fucking like, every time you walk, one of them might, you know, it's like, this guy might punch a woman.
For the most part, you're like, you know who to avoid. And
you know what I was, you know, this is maybe like too jokey or whatever, but like I was kind of thinking like the idea where they say like, you know, like a hate crime when you kill someone, it's like an extra 5 years or whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's interesting because you're like, you know, if, and I guess it kind of, I don't think they usually do it if it's to a white person, right?
They have. That's, I think that is a bit of, it's not,
It's like
common, but it does exist.
But it's one of those things where it's interesting because they go, if they say that the reason you get more time, like if I kill a guy because, you know, if I just kill a guy versus I kill a guy for his ethnicity or whatever, they go, well, that's like the worst one. And you're like, is it though? Like, I can think of a worse thing than being killed for being gay. It's like, how about a guy killed you because you wouldn't be gay? Like, what? You know what I mean? Yeah. You go, I was just like, how about a guy killed you because he fucked your girl and he was mad that she gave you teethy head.
Sure.
Like, you know,
yeah.
Like you could just think you walked in on a guy fucking your mom. Is that not worse than him killing you because you're fucking gay?
Yeah. I mean,
like,
the hate crime thing is stupid.
Isn't there like worse things to be killed for?
Sure.
He didn't like your face.
I think, yeah, that is the whole premise of hate crimes is you're being targeted for some immutable characteristic, and you go, yeah, my face is immutable. I can't make that is my face. And you go, so if you hated my face, then that should be a hate crime too. And you're like, it's.
Oh, I just feel like, yeah, there's worse things. There's like, obviously, I'm like a little kidding, but like it does feel like there's, if you go. Of all the things I could be killed for, I can think of a worse one.
Yeah,
sometimes.
Yeah. I mean, there needs to be some element. Like, I don't know if Trump is going to try.
Guy killed you because your dick's too small.
Yeah.
Tell me that wouldn't be a worse thing to be killed for.
That would be a tough one to get killed for. You go, it's actually average. My wife says,
if you use the world statistic,
it's not how you use it. It's not how big it is. It's how you use it. If you're getting fucking stabbed to death.
It's how you use the word.
Yeah. Seems like we could use some sort of 3 strikes thing. Because there is that stat going around where you're like, yeah, if you just got rid of like repeat, like most of the crimes committed by like repeat offenders for the most part anyways. Like, and obviously we're not doing some like 1 strike and you're out thing.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I think California, I don't know, I think California.
But I think you're right that there needs to be like some, you know, for those 300 people, you're just like, okay, what does the sort of like more long-term psychiatric care look like?
Yeah, fucking, you just lock them up.
Insane asylums, people don't like that word, but
well, that's where all the Batman.
But they also
that's where all the villains from.
It is 2025. Like you could probably, they do make villains there, but you could have like a place where you're taking care of mentally ill people without them being like tortured.
Yeah. Can you just
like, is it possible for them to like have that scenario where they're not abused?
Yeah, and I mean, again, essentially, like a big, I think, reason why everybody's like, yeah, prison sucks is because you're like, yeah, we're around all these mentally ill people.
Right.
They're like they don't have asylums anymore, so then when you go to prison now, they're just like. It's just like literally the most mentally ill people and
looking to stab you,
regular criminals, and you're like, yeah, they just lock them all together, and you're like, this person does need like some assistance that's not just like locked in a. But I mean, dude, the guy in Canada, remember the dude who cut off the guy's head in Canada?
Yeah, he's like out and about now
on the Greyhound. It's like he legitimately, and I'm wondering if like this guy, I don't know if America functions similarly, but like he'll probably plead like not criminally responsible by way of like, you know, mental whatever, but the guy in Canada like cut a dude's head off on a Greyhound. Now granted, Canada is a much more liberal place and Trump is in power now, but he was like, they were like, yeah, this guy was like did not know where he was, what he was doing. He was like, God told me to cut this guy's head off, and they let him out after like I think like 4 years or something, and that was 8 years ago, and as far as I know, he hasn't done anything. So, like, I'm sure there is a way to rehabilitate.
Well, until they stop taking their medication for a fucking
And
week.
again, how do you force people to take their medication? There's that too. Like, if someone's like doesn't want to take their medication, or
well, I guess you make that part of their parole is like you have to test them for their. How do you test people for their medication?
I don't
Maybe
know.
there is some version of that. I don't know.
Anyways, we tried all this fucking namby-pamby shit, trying to lock people away. We tried your thing. It didn't work.
But do you feel like there's like you feel like there's some wild changes about to happen?
It feels like it. Yeah, it does. It does. I mean, again, Trump is like, you know, sending in the National Guard in Chicago, like, is a pretty wild thing.
Right.
It sounds like, I don't know if that's happening now, but like, you know, sending in National Guard into cities, like, oh, I mean, look, fucking Big Balls got beaten up in DC or whatever. You got mugged, and then they're like, yeah, we're sending in the army for this because this guy got attacked. So you're like, okay, well, He knew Charlie Kirk a lot better than Big Balls.
And he's bigger
Way bigger
influential person. But he lives in DC. That's one thing.
Well, he lives in DC, but it's like, but he doesn't live in Chicago. And again, I don't know what's the state status of what's going on in Chicago, but like, yeah, sending in the military like to police cities is pretty major move. And he's willing to do that. So I mean, you have to imagine something's coming down the pike from this.
You said you think the private prisons are going to be going up.
Oh yeah. That wasn't Zero Hedge. Actually, I saw tweeted about that a few days ago, and I go, yeah, that's probably a smart move.
That is always the crazy part of Twitter, where they're posting like, all right, I think Smith & Wesson's going to be going up right now.
Smith & Wesson was fucking ripping yesterday.
Of
Dude,
course.
every gun stock was up like 10% yesterday.
Yeah, of course.
But that always
it's also, you have to understand though, it's also back to school season.
That's true. Yeah, those two things might be completely unrelated.
Well, that was.
There was a school shooting.
There was a school shooting. Yeah, they didn't kill anyone though.
In Denver, yeah.
But another one, yeah.
Well, a guy killed himself.
He killed himself.
Yeah. So. And the funny thing is the way the school shooting stats are. They go, yeah, that was a school shooting death.
Right.
Because the guy killed himself, and you go, that counts.
Well, they have mass shooting deaths. There was like a drive-by.
Yeah, drive-by.
It's like it's kind of a different thing. Yeah, but that's not what we meant.
Yeah, that's not what
that's
we
like
meant. You guys are padding your stats right now.
That's technically, yeah. Well, if when I turn on, it's like you go. Fucking Threads wants a race war. Fucking Twitter wants a fucking
Blue Sky's
Twitter
jubilant.
wants one. Blue Sky wants one.
Yeah.
TikTok definitely wants like some sort of revolution. The media wants a fucking war. I mean, politicians, talking heads. It was like there's almost like not that many people not like trying to rile people up.
Turn down the temperature. I mean, the best is the left-wing media where everybody's like, everybody needs to turn down the temperature.
Yeah, but they don't really say that. They always go, everyone needs to turn down the temperature. But what I mean by that is Trump, right, obviously.
Of course.
And you go, it's obviously not untrue that Trump's like a wild man, but it's like, and he's saying wild shit, but it's like, yeah, like you are too, but I can't. They have to. It's politics, right? Mm-hmm. It's a blood sport, but with the internet, it's like it's at an all-time fever pitch, and it's not probably getting any better.
No, I don't imagine. It's
fucking, the last like fucking 8 years have been insane.
No, yeah, it's
like since we moved here 5 years ago, has been maybe the most insane
we literally
5
moved
years
here,
ever.
And then there goes, here's COVID, like immediately.
In 5 years has been one of the, like, just the amount of stuff.
A lot of stuff.
Where it's just like, there's been a complete change in how everyone does everything.
Yeah.
They locked you in your houses.
Oh, man. Dude, I remember living in Toronto just being like, nothing ever happens.
I think you said shit like that. We used to always hear about stuff happening. Nothing ever happens.
Nothing ever happens. And now I guess we're just like, I guess it's the fourth turning. We're like now in the fucking
presidents are getting shot at.
Shit's happening. And yeah. Assassinations, politicians, all that stuff. So
you hear this, Johnny?
Johnny's got a small bladder.
Not to be confused.
Big piece, small bladder. They call him the fucking kickstand, that man.
So, okay, now Johnny's gone.
Now we can really play. The principal's gone.
Funny. Speaking of crime, two crime things is, on Chicago PD, and first of all, I will say this: this is shit that I watch on.
You think we're getting a Charlie Kirk Law and Order episode? Bum bum.
No, that's more NCIS, like that sort of shootings. Gibbs stops them every episode, so it always stops them.
But does NCIS do the Law and Order thing where they take like a real story in the news and then they kind of like?
No, that's SVU.
That's SVU.
So, but Chicago PD did one of those. They kind of like follow a little bit, but they never really copy it. And they did the pedophile hunters, and they were called the perv hunters, and they were actually. So they had the perv hunters, and apparently they're from...
Damn, it's making its way into like fucking mainstream.
Right.
Huh?
So they were called the perv hunters, and they were finding pedophiles and shaming them in videos, and then someone else was killing them, and then they were bringing them and then lighting them on fire or whatever.
Like,
but they said they were from Canada, and they were called the perv hunters.
Oh, they're a Canadian outfit.
Yeah, I don't know why. They were a Canadian outfit.
That's weird.
Called the perv hunters, and he was like a tattooed, he ran a tattoo studio, and his side gig was perv hunters.
I don't know if there's any of the pedophile hunters that I follow that are... Or not follow, but see that are...
You like to know where they're at.
I mean, I'm trying not to get caught. But I don't know if there's any that are Canadian ones. It's all like Alex Rosen.
I don't know. For some reason, they went with the
Weird angle.
Yeah, they moved to Toronto to bring their Canadian perv hunter outfit over here.
So this is NCIS?
No, this is Chicago PD.
So
the guy who talks like this.
Oh, okay. So they went to Toronto, or
No, the guys were just Canadian for no reason.
Oh, they're just Canadian for no reason, just in Chicago.
Yeah.
And were they like, is this in our jurisdiction? We got to call in the Mounties for support.
Right. And then fucking winner of Last Comic Standing, John Reap, charged with sex crimes. Some comedian. By the way, second comedian we know that got charged with that. Remember in Canada?
Yeah, I do remember in Canada.
It's like actually, and the last one was like, kind of like good looking black dude. They wouldn't like, industry darling.
Yeah.
This guy was, on America's Got Talent and everything.
I think he won America's Got Talent.
Won America's Got Talent.
Won America's Got Talent.
And he's like meeting up with people in a.
I remember I met him at JFL.
You knew him.
I didn't know him, but
you knew him.
I had a couple pops.
You had a couple pops with him.
I had, in Toronto at JFL Toronto, probably 10 years ago.
What did you talk to him about?
I don't know.
You don't want to say.
I'd like to take my Fifth Amendment rights.
Rain Azizi says he knows him.
Yeah, I mean, dude,
he's like around. Everyone.
He's
like I was talking to people yesterday. I was asking about it, and people were like, "Yeah, I knew him. He was around."
Yeah, he's around for sure. He's like he's like a big right wing comic now. I think I don't know if he always, but he was like in all these Dodge Hemi commercials and stuff.
Okay,
he's like a working comic, yeah.
And then, for some reason, he's just also meeting up with people in the fucking corner.
No, I don't think he was
get hard drives.
Oh yeah, he was like
Dude, they said he had like a terabyte.
Yeah, he had lots of.
Well, that's what our buddy's dad or buddy's brother or something worked with the police force, and he's like, whenever someone gets like booked for that stuff, he was just like, we've been following them for 6 months.
Yeah, it's not some like misunderstanding.
Some freaks in this industry, dude.
Oh yeah, I mean they're everywhere, man. They're everywhere. Look to your right, look to your left. One of those people's a pedophile.
Well, in my case, just look to my right.
God damn it, I set myself up for that so bad.
Look to your right, look to your left. The guy on your right's a pedophile. All right, look to your right, behind you, look in front of you. Danny Polishek's a pedophile. yeah. But, ladies and gentlemen, point to the person who you think's a pedophile. God damn.
Stop moving. I'm pointing at you.
You know what I was kind of thinking too? It's like with whenever there's like crazy shit that happens, it's just like everyone feels the need that they have to like post something. You're just like, you don't have to chime in on every single thing.
One of my least favorite things about fucking Twitter is everybody's like, yeah, I'm a journalist, and they go, I'm just gonna post the same thing that 9 million other people have posted.
Yeah.
Like, because you don't think anybody's seen this yet?
Yeah, it is always weird, especially you see that on Facebook sometimes. Just like some big guy, and you look at his Facebook, and he's like literally just posts like news.
Yeah.
He just like posts like man found with gun, and you're just like, okay. I guess this is like making you money in some way.
I guess it's making you money, and I guess you want to be like, yeah, I'm the news guy.
I'm the news now.
Yeah, I'm a trusted source of news.
Yeah, that's what they're like, you're the news now, and I'm like, I don't want to be the news.
Yeah, I don't want to be the news. I don't want to be the news.
No, I'm not. And then so I actually watched the documentary about the mom who sends her daughter texts, and we covered a bunch of because we talked about that a bunch on this, and it was like the texts are like wild, right? Because the woman's, she's got like a pig nose, a weird looking lady. All the texts are like, you've got a flat ass, you're
kill yourself.
Your boyfriend wants blowjobs, and you'll never even give him blowjobs, whereas he's gonna finger me. It's like, what the fuck?
Really fucking weird.
It's fucking insane.
Really nutty. I mean, I guess it's kind of like she had like a Munchausen syndrome. Normally, like, you make your kids sick, I guess, and this is like
it's either that it's either that or the jealousy thing, one of the two.
Yeah, I guess, because or
just like actual
for people who don't know, I guess
we talked about it here like multiple times.
Yeah, but it was, did we talk about it when it actually happened, like when it was in the news?
Yeah,
we talked about it when it was in the news.
Yeah.
But basically, like, there's this thing where her boyfriend breaks up with her, and then her boyfriend is like seeing some new girl like 200 miles away, and she like knows about it, and she
somehow gets her text, and she
starts texting
she's lying about saying she has a job where she's just like sitting in the house like
fucking texting her daughter being like, you filthy pig.
Yeah, all day long for years.
Insane. Yeah that the whole that's, man, fucked up.
Young Thug. He was in jail. It's a lot of jail shit and crime that's happening, right? It's a crime. This country's
festooned with criminality.
Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, You don't follow like the rap news as much
I
as
don't
me, but-
follow rap.
But this guy was like, this was like one of the biggest fucking trials, dude. Like their thing is called like YSL. They had like a fucking RICO charge.
Yeah, they
the
had
guy was
RICO
in jail.
charges.
Then he was on he would do these phone calls with people and essentially be like gossiping like a little girl, or just, you know, what maybe anyone would do, talking to their buddies. And he was like talking about cheating on his chick and fuck this guy, fuck that guy. And then someone released all the calls and they don't know who it was. Some people are saying the jail did it. Like the person who was on the other line, they're saying he's like, nah, I wasn't, not me, blah, blah. So like some people think it was like a conspiracy that like the cops like released it to make him look bad, all this sort of things. But dude, he literally was in jail. And then imagine like just
And is he facing like life kind of thing?
I can't remember the exact scenario with him. I think he was facing some
Like murder for hire stuff? Is that what
RICO
it-
shit. Yeah, like where we know it's like it's not even one thing. It's like a organized crime shit, right?
Yeah.
But basically, like how crazy would that be? The jail like released your calls if you were talking about girls you fucked.
Seems more plausible that it was just the guy, and then the guy was like,
Apparently that's not on the table. Apparently like no one thinks that.
"Oh, really?"
Yeah. It seems like the running theory is that
Someone
like
in the jail. I
someone
mean, they do record all the calls,
Right, so that's why, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not like the other guy would have to be like, oh, and there's no really incentive for his boy to be like, let me book you, like get you in trouble for cheating. Like what was there's no like, obviously it's not zero chance, but the incentive structure is not there.
Probably seems like the least of his fucking problems.
Right.
That would be annoying though. Just you're in jail, and now you got to deal with your chick. Fucking, you're like, I get 2 phone calls a day, and one of them.
He's out now.
Oh, he's out now. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good for him.
He's doing interviews, and he's doing like a weird press tour where he was basically like, he's like, there's 2 things that snitching's bad, and then when a guy's gay, and he goes, and I'm not saying I don't want the LGBT people to think that I'm saying this is bad. It's just if my boy's there and he says he's not gay, but then he turns out he is gay, like that's bad. If you're gay, that
Cool. I just don't like being lied to.
Yeah, it basically he tried to go as just him, but it was like a very long-winded explanation. It's just like, it is true. This is a guy who's been in jail for 8 years, coming out being like, if your boy's gay, that's a problem. And everyone's like, what? He's like, duh. Like,
It's like, I've been institutionalized, and
yeah, he has like,
I learned on the inside.
yeah, he's talking about his, gang shit and jail shit, and he's coming out being like, has to be like, but there's nothing wrong with being gay. It's just that he said he's not gay, and
Yeah.
I'm not. That's he doesn't sound like that, by the way. My accent that I was just doing is not how he sounds.
Not great. Not great.
So then, right before that, because we were kind of going chronologically back, Trump met with all the billionaires. Speaking of hot mics.
Yeah. There's a guy named Mike there?
No, Zuckerberg.
Oh, that's what I thought you were.
Danny's on fire, man. It's not a time. If you ask me, it's not a time for jokes, but you can't stop with him. And the funny man that never stops. You just pull the string and wind him up.
I don't know. There's some good looking mics.
Jordan.
Was Michelle Obama there? She got invited?
There you go.
Hot mic?
So Zuckerberg and all the things. And it felt like, you remember when he went to meet with people from North Korea?
Yeah.
And it felt like The Office, and people were in The Office music. Felt very like that to me, where he just had all the like billionaires there, and he was like, "Okay, let's go around the table. Why don't you tell us a little bit about something about yourself?" And it's like, "My name is Sam Altman. I'm trying to do this." Okay, and next up is Mark Zuckerberg. Why don't you tell us what you're going to do for this country? He's like, I'm going to do $600 billion, and everyone goes, "Oh, okay, good, thanks." and then they turn away, and the hot mic was still on. He goes, "I didn't realize we were supposed to make the announcement. I didn't know what number to pick."
Yeah.
I was just like, the whole thing was like bizarre.
It is funny. The article too is like, notably absent Elon Musk.
But the whole story
was it? Yeah, that's notable because last I checked, their last interaction was Elon Musk calling Trump a pedophile.
Yeah.
It's probably would be pretty awkward.
It's definitely funny that they have all the billionaires there and Elon's not invited. And
they said he was invited.
We actually had a really good. Oh, they
They said he was invited and he just didn't come. But you're like, obviously he didn't come. He's like, he called Trump a pedophile. He said he was on Epstein's list. Remember when they had their own little spat?
Yeah, obviously.
4 months ago?
Do you think? I think the ultimate would they invited Grimes just to make like a real statement. It's just like we have Zuckerberg, Sam Altman, Larry.
Did you see that Sam Altman
Grimes
interview thing with Tucker Carlson?
I saw a clip of it
or whatever, where Tucker Carlson's just like accusing him of murder, basically.
Yeah, he was like, all these top people went
well, there's
missing.
one guy like they go, he killed himself. He goes, yeah, but there's like blood in all these different rooms, and his family says he didn't kill himself, and essentially insinuating Sam Altman murdered him.
Right.
Sam Altman's like, do you think that's what happened? He goes, I don't know. It's like, how Tucker Carlson plays dumb. He's like, I don't know. He's like, you're kind of accusing me of murder right now. I don't know.
And then Sam Altman said, you're kind of accusing me of murder?
Like, essentially insinuating that. Like, he goes, and it was awkward because it was like the middle of the interview. It wasn't like the end of it.
And what did Sam Altman say?
He kind of was just like, he's a friend of mine, and as he goes, I didn't murder him, I guess. No. I'll go check OpenAI source code. Maybe that did it. Maybe OpenAI killed him. ChatGPT. I don't know.
I'm just
awkward.
I spent most of my time defending them on the internet. So they, someone posts, fucking look at Zuckerberg, he's a bitch. I go, tell me you're not a billionaire without telling me you're not a billionaire. That's what I say. Jealous much?
Yeah. Poor person says what?
I go, yeah. He goes, oh, look at him, he's a bitch. I go, yeah, he is a green belt. What do you have?
He'd choke you out in 3 seconds. You would be tapping out.
That's what I spent. Everyone's like, you hear about Charlie Kirk? I'm like, no, I'm like way too busy like defending Mark Zuckerberg online. I go, he would choke you out in 3 fucking seconds.
Yeah, good luck. Fucking,
you're a fucking
lasting
bitch.
1 round the octagon with Zuck.
Also this week, Department of War. Like this, it's
that's what it used to be called.
Yes. Well, I've heard a good argument where they're just like it's almost dishonest to be called the Department of Defense, you know?
Yeah. They do a lot less defended and a lot more war.
I know.
So that is accurate. And then everybody's like, oh, it's going to cost so much money. And you're like, sure.
Well, it's like, calling the Fed the Department of like Fiscal Responsibility or some shit, right?
Sure. Fair enough. And I'm sure, I mean, they're like, oh, it's going to cost $1 billion. How much could it cost to replace some letterhead?
Yeah.
It can't cost $1 billion. I mean, the government, if anybody could make it cost $1 billion, it is the government. But Trump doesn't seem like he's going to okay this and just be like, yeah, it was $1 billion, just fucking gonzo for some new letterhead, some new merch. I mean, they need all new merch. Because like they're big on that, all those departments. They have all their fucking Patagonia jackets.
They have to. They have
all their crests, and
that's why it costs so much money because of all that.
Yeah, they got to throw it. Dude, all these African kids are gonna be wearing fucking Department of Defense shirts. Like their Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl champion merch.
Dude, this is such a weird vibe right now in the world. I swear to God, even when I was coming, I was like on my way here and I was just like, feels like fucking, I don't know, dude. It was just like bizarre. And I was looking at like our things, like I told you some of them. And just like, even just looking at my page here, this is the article that we had. Help, my stepson is looking at scat porn.
Yeah, well, that'll be for the Patreon. The Patreon this week will be a normal episode. And if you think that's poor taste, I don't know what to tell you, okay?
I don't think any of our fans think that. I just feel like there is I don't know, it's like I mean I did stand up last night. It's not like again it's hard to even explain. It just feels like the world has like is so intense at this exact moment that it just feels like
I mean, look, if people were doing stand-up the day after 9/11, like, you can do stand-up.
No. Yeah, you're missing. I think that's why I'm not trying to say that. I'm more like saying that there's just like such a weird vibe. It feels like anything else feels like not important or something. Mm-hmm. Or I don't know. I know it's hard to even explain it. It feels like that there's so much going on and there's like such an intense like vibe in the world right now, and it's like so much shit going on. It's just like the talking about something else. Yeah, feels like insignificant.
Yeah, for sure. You're like, why talk? You're like, what's the point of talking about something? But maybe that's.
Yeah, I can't even explain it properly.
I know what you mean. Yeah, that's just like this has this gravitational pull around it where you're like, why? That seems like the thing you should be talking about.
There's currently there's currently a manhunt going on.
It might be a woman hunt. It might be a they-them hunt. Not so fast, Ryan.
Danny. Someone sent me a gender clinic doctor that looks like you. You must have seen this.
Oh, yeah. I've seen that.
You've seen that a few times. Welcome to the New Orleans
Dude,
Transgender Institute, a collection of medical and surgical resources for the New Orleans transgender community.
I mean,
it looks exactly like Danny.
I might be a little off base here, but that looks like if you put my face through like the Jewify app,
Yeah.
like a Jewify filter to make me look like extra, like me and like the Grappler,
Right.
like.
Yeah, we'll put this. I'll take this photo for Johnny. But like, people have been sending this to us, saying that this looks like. Someone said it looks like if you mix me and you.
It's like me and Rabbi Shmuley.
I know, the king. You know.
Yeah.
And then you sent me at University of Guelph. They were doing the first day. The school, but like it is crazy. Yeah, that's the opposite. What's going on in like UK and Canada versus
this is
America.
Like this is like I remember having classes there. That building, I can't remember what it was called, but it was like built like right before we graduated. It's like some brand new building, and I remember having lectures there. But it was just some drag queen running up and down the aisles.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have
some event.
And there's like a guy posting being like, "Yo, what's going on right now?
What's going on?" And they're like, "It's for an event called Sexy Bingo."
But that's what it was, because the guy said it was like his first day.
It was for it wasn't the teacher or anything. It was like they were promoting some event for like,
Okay.
sex positivity thing, and of course, you need a drag queen to do it because you just can't have a chick do it anymore. Can't have a biological woman or anything like that.
I mean, the university we went to was like pretty much a guarantee that place was going to get pretty wacky because of the.
Yeah.
It's like 70% women.
Yeah, it's a lot.
And
of women,
also, it's kind of like the
farmers.
hippie. It was kind of like the hippie school.
Yeah, the only people there are like kind of normal are probably just the fucking ag people because it's like an agriculture.
I know. There's also then there's a big percentage of it that's like farmers.
Farmers.
So it's a weird mix.
It's like a big like farming.
It's a weird mix of like Portland and fucking farmers.
Yeah, kind of. So, but yeah. Anyways, that was a good one. Someone sent me that, being like just this drag queen running up and down the aisles.
Nuts.
Yeah, it's good shit.
So what do you think happens to in the future? Do you think that like shootings ramp up where there's like more of this shit?
I hope not. I don't.
Do you think a comedian gets popped?
No. Who would even be that? Like, I can't think of anybody who's like so inflammatory. That's like, like, is there a comedian that's really like pushing buttons so crazy?
Yeah, definitely. I think there's probably similar to, yeah, definitely.
But also like the size, like someone who's pushing buttons and is also like that influence. Like we obviously know.
I know Joe Rogan takes like security. Crazy
Joe
seriously.
Rogan. But again, Joe Rogan is like if you hear him talk, you're like he's not saying anything.
No, but these people are crazy. You're missing that.
Yeah, there obviously are crazies, but I don't know. I don't think comedians, like, I mean, I would be stressing out if I was like a fucking Ben Shapiro or something for sure.
That's probably, I was thinking the other equivalent right wing guys, and I think it's like Charlie Kirk, probably like Ben Shapiro, maybe Tucker Carlson.
And again,
would be
it's
like this.
Joe Rogan, you probably, he's not going to fucking some event, like he's not going to go to do some public like event on a outdoors with like no, like, they didn't have, like, they had 6 cops at Charlie Kirk's thing. It was outside. There's no metal detectors. Like, I mean, the most exposed Joe Rogan gets is probably like going in an arena.
Yeah, I saw someone talk about that
but
knew him, where they were just like,
they have metal detectors.
Apparently, they travel with like a security detail when they were doing those like college campus events, which I think Alex Stein did some, didn't he?
Alex Stein does them, but again, like nothing to that scale. Alex Stein's more like in the parking lot of a Charlie Kirk event.
I thought he did a couple of them.
He doesn't get like 2,000 people showing.
The main one, they have main cards.
Yeah,
smaller ones.
Alex Stein's the undercard, I think.
Okay,
more like that. But
apparently they do have like a big security detail. But you're just like,
again, the moment you put yourself outside.
I mean, you think schools would be like, all right, that's done.
Probably that's done at schools for a while. Yeah, I would think
debate. Yeah, they're just like, okay, well debate's over.
Probably outdoors, maybe, but it is becoming winter. But I mean, probably the outdoor, like just really putting yourself out there with controversial figures, kind of is probably done for a little bit, I would think, just out of safety. But I don't know. I don't like everybody, wants to be like, yeah, this is just the start of this. I don't know if
you feel. I kind of know what you mean, where things are like so wild. It's like it always kind of feels like that, and then
I just don't see some like right winger going and fucking shoot Hassan Piker or something. Like I don't.
No, me neither. But I do feel like you just see more. I mean, I don't know. Like the thing is, when you're like, the same as when you're out in the real world, it feels different than the internet. It's like people are getting real siloed in their, their little chambers on the internet, and they're becoming like real antisocial psychos.
I could see some sort of, again, it's so hard to say, like some clampdown on social media, like in terms of kind of like turning down the heat there, because obviously, like, I mean, I was going to say, you're like, the Republicans are like the free speech people. They're not really so much, like they're, again.
But everyone political likes an issue when it's trendy.
Yeah.
Like when it helps. Like the truth is,
if you the Israel stuff and you're like, they're not the Gaza stuff. And you're like, they're not really.
Yeah, because it didn't help because they're the ones in charge. Like, it's like people that are very, very politically oriented.
Yeah.
They're always, when push comes to shove, not actually that principled.
No.
Because they're kind of for the win over
and TikTok is fucking sitting over there just rubbing their hands, being like, yes, more.
I mean, whenever
more of this, America. This is exactly how we designed the algorithm for maximum fucking.
Yeah, you're kind of right. Like, does TikTok stock go up when shit like crazy happens?
Well, they don't have a stock. I mean, again, Trump's been forever.
Well, private value.
Well, forever, Trump's been like, I gave.
What about Facebook? What about ones that are public? Do you think it affects them?
No, this isn't like a singular event enough where I don't think like this is like,
maybe not this, but
No, I mean, I could, again, like, Instagram.
Obviously, people being fighting helps.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
No question about that.
For sure. The more people are like
you do have a situation where that is just the nature of the world, where it's like on social media, like people fighting is incentivized. That's why it's like, dude, so why CNN's now, it's like, hey, this is a panel of like people come in and fight.
Arguing,
like Piers Morgan's new show is like, I bring people on and they fight. Like that is kind of the format now.
Yeah.
Which is the oldest format ever. It's like people like conflict. It just is what it is.
Yeah, people like conflict.
Well, that's what people like conflict in a story they're watching. Like
Yeah, I mean, I could see like Instagram's like the only one where I could see them being like, yeah, we're maybe gonna like tone things down a little bit. It is weird, like because I was saying, like, I guess you saw lots of stuff on the murder on Threads of the woman, but like
I did, yeah.
My Threads, I didn't see anything. I don't know if I just don't know how to use it properly or what.
I did see it, yeah.
I was like scrolling through it. And
one of the things that I thought was interesting is the amount that people are, we're posting about Charlie Kirk, where they're just like, well, yeah, that's actually good, because if like he wants black people to be slaves again, and they're just like, who told you that?
Yeah, I know. You're like, where did you do that?
Fuck?
He just like wants you to have kids.
He's like, kind of. He does say wild shit, but like it is somewhat of a traditional like Christian, like
like in the 90s, you just be like, this is like a pretty normal guy. Mm-hmm. And now it's like this is this crazy controversial thing. But I mean, Twitter, their whole thing is you're like, yeah, we ain't toning down shit. Like this is what it is. So I don't see it coming from Twitter, but maybe in like Facebook, Instagram.
It's a weird conversation because you're kind of like, there is like there's one thing where you're like taking things offline, where you're actually now you're like censoring people, but then there's another one where you're like, well, how did the algorithm work? Where they go, well, we want, like, you can, okay, for example, the algorithm works like the most comments is the best, right?
Yeah.
Or, the most watch time is the best, right?
Yeah.
But like, that's not necessarily the view of enjoyment. Like, you could make the argument that like
quite literally the opposite.
Right. So you could say like, hey, we're not making judgment calls on what the people post, but we are, we want our algorithm for enjoyment as opposed to, and I don't know how you would like, so maybe that would be like if someone,
which would cause overall watch time to go down.
No, but maybe, but I always make the argument. I mean, obviously they know the answer but maybe sometimes it's short term, but like I'm sure they've done all the studies, so obviously I'm wrong. But like I always think to myself, there are platforms I go that like when I go on them, I watch a lot of stuff, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
And I go on them less. So while I go on it, like if I log on to TikTok, you're right, they do get me there for longer, but then I don't go on as much because I'm like, I don't like any, I don't, I think I don't like any of that
I got
shit.
my weekly dose of racism just right.
Whereas if I sometimes, and I feel that way about Twitter a little bit, but there's certain platforms where I find it to be like,
Instagram's
I find
like
funny things. I might not stay on there for an extra 5 minutes, like if you did all the math, but I actually enjoyed my time there more, so I'm more likely to go back. It becomes my main app more.
Yeah.
That being said, obviously, they're doing the math on these things.
Yeah.
And they all follow each other, but
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, Instagram's definitely following Twitter and just goes, let's open this bad boy up.
yeah. But I think, anyways, that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah.
If you have anything else?
No.
So
Come on over to the Patreon.
go on to the Patreon. We will be talking about scat porn, for starters.
Regularly scheduled programming over on the Patreon.
AI boyfriends, Clanker, why it's not racist.
Cogsucker?
Cogsucker.
Cogsucker. Solid. Cogsucker.
Austin's rebrand, a woman who is wants to know if she's the asshole for being too fat to sit in a chair.
You break the chair, you buy it. That's reasonable.
The Taliban's pretty gay. They said no contact with males, so only dude-to-dude contact.
Peace.
Anyways, a bunch of stuff. But okay, we'll see you over on the Patreon. All right, peace.
Later.